Hello, welcome everyone. Today we are going to discuss about micro and macro environment. The entire business environment, the analysis of micro and macro environment is really crucial for every business, especially in today's globalized world. If you are unable to assess the micro and macro environment of your business, of your organizations, then it is not possible to make any strategy, especially to achieve any business objective. It is really essential to understand the internal and external factor of the business. Let's begin with the introduction of those micro and macro environments. The business environment. Why study of business environment is very important. There is evidence that successful organizations are so much those that deliver value to the customers today. Of course, it is much more difficult to predict the future than to describe the past. Successful organizations have been often those who understand their business environment and have invested in growth areas while cutting back in areas which are most likely to decline. There are two important elements of the business environment, and they are the micro environment, the internal environment, and the macro environment. As you can see in this picture, the investment climate, the open financial market, the financial labor market, political stability, infrastructure, economic predictability, and so on are included in business environment. The microenvironment factors. You can see in the figure the internal factors, the suppliers, customers, competitors, publics, marketing intermediaries, demographic factor, natural factor, and so on. You can consider them as a microenvironment. Um, the customers, suppliers, intermediaries, competitors, bracer groups, financial communities, and local communities are micro factor that have the impact in business from micro level. Suppliers can control the success of business when they hold power. The supplier hold the power when they are the only or the largest supplier of their goods. The buyers is not vital to the supplier. A business, the supplier's product is core part of the buyer's finished product and or a business. A reseller, if the product the organization produces is taken to market by third-party resellers or market intermediaries such retailers, wholesalers, etc., then the marketing success impacted by those third-party sellers. Customers, who the customers are, B2B or B2C, business to business or business to customers, local or international, etc. And the reason for buying the product will play a large role in how approach the marketing of your product and service to them. Competitors, those who sell the same or similar products and services as your organizations in your market competition, and the way they sell needs to be taken into account. The general public, your organization has a duty to satisfy the public. Any actions of your company must be considered from the angle of the general public and how they are affected. The public has the power to help your research your goal, just as they can also prevent you from achieving them. The macro environment. The macro environment consists of broad environment factors that impact to greater or less extent on almost all organizations. The PESTEL framework can be used to identify how future changes in the political, economic, social, technological, environmental, green and legal environment might impinging on organizations. PESTEL provides a wide overview of key drivers that help a pump and focus is most important and scenarios built on key drivers to explore different ways in which the environment might change. Macro environment factors, the demographic forces, different market segments are typically impacted by common lifestyle, culture, characteristics, and movements. Economic factors, the economic environment can impact both the organization's production and the consumer's decision-making process. Natural physical forces, the earth's renewal or the natural forces such as forces, agricultural products, marine products, etc. must be taken into account. There are also natural non-renewable resources such as oil, coal, mineral, etc. that may also impact the organization's production. Technological factor, the skill and knowledge applied to the production and the technology and materials need for the production of products and services can also impact the smooth running of the business and must be considered. The political and legal forces. Sound marketing decisions should always take into account political and legal developments in relation to the organization and its market. Social and cultural factor. The impact the product and service your organization bring to market have on society must be considered. Any element of production, process or organization is taking social responsibility. Now, let's discuss about the personal factor. The political factor, political stability, corruption, foreign trade policy, tax policy, funding grants, etc. Economic factor, economic growth, interest rate, inflation, disposable income of consumer, labor costs, etc. Social, population growth, age distribution, cultural barriers, consumer views, workforce trend. Technological factor, emerging technologies, maturing technologies, copyright and patents, production and distribution, research and investment. Similarly, the legal factor, regulation, employment law, consumer protection laws, tax policies and antitrust laws. Environmental factor, the climate, environmental policies, availability of inputs, corporate social responsibility, etc. So these are the factors regarded as the external factor of the business, which are beyond the control of the business. That's why every business must take into consideration regarding this factor. The business can only minimize the harm from the external factor. They cannot control those factors. They can only manage and minimize the damage and harm for those factors. That's why the careful assessment, consideration of the external factor is crucial in business environment. Thank you so much. In next video we will come about the other global economic factor, the drivers of globalization. Please don't forget to subscribe us in order to follow our further videos. We will continuously providing you the assistance for learning and connecting to the learners and teachers together. Please visit our website connectlearninglondon.co.uk. Thank you.